Haverford asks of its community, all of the members of its community, to engage actively in advancing the quality of the community and their own learning. I think the Honor Code contributes to that, the Quaker tradition contributes to that, and no doubt the kind of students that come to Haverford who understand that contribute to that. But the result is, it's really a place that is a partnership in learning, as I think every institution would aspire to, where everybody's contributing the best they can to a shared experience of distributed responsibility and commitment to learning that really resonated with me in powerful ways. We are facing a time really of unprecedented change in our system of higher ed, driven by an economic system that's really challenged, that creates its own problems, demographic shifts that really have effect on higher education, powerful impact of technology in ways that we all recognize is going to be seismic, but we're not sure how. And then I think also an increased level of skepticism on the part of the public about what higher education is really about, and is this a good investment for families to make for their children. And I think within the context of a really challenging environment, one might think of a system of more than 4,000 colleges and universities as being a really diverse gathering of different kinds of institutions. And within that gathering, liberal arts colleges, the strongest and best liberal arts colleges, I think do a better job of training undergraduates than any other sector of that system. And within that group, Haverford has a genuine distinction as a place that has a certain kind of educational value system and a commitment to shared responsibility and to joint learning and to service to the world that I think is admired by all others. And in that sense, Haverford is really a national leader, an international leader, in the way it constructs those opportunities for its students. So I think one of the great challenges before us is how do we maintain a commitment to those core values and that vision of excellence that we've had, while lifting the institution, and I have every intention of supporting an agenda of advancing the institution and not just staying in place. At the same time, we do the job we have to do to make sure that we can sustain our investments over time, because Haverford's going to be here in 100 years, and we need to make sure that we leave for the future the resources and the foundation that allows it to be excellent then too. And I think that's not going to be easy to do. I'm a pretty outgoing, active person, so I expect in the first year I will be in my office very little and out around campus a great deal, meeting with students and faculty and staff and members of the community just to learn. And the quicker I can do that, the quicker I can really get a sense for the place and what the issues are as people see them, the more quickly I can begin to develop, in concert with others, an agenda for how we might move forward together. And that's what I'm looking forward to as the first step. I will say that the way in which this search was conducted is really a model of how Haverford does things. I first learned about the opportunity and was, of course, drawn to it based on what I know about Haverford. But then my conversations with members of the search committee and members of the board of managers and some others was so stimulating and so thoughtful that it gave me a sense of what it's like to be a member of this community. And in modeling that kind of environment, I was so thrilled by the opportunity to do this every day and make it part of my daily life that more than anything else, that's what drew me to want to come here. The idea that if that's what these people do, and we were talking about difficult issues that we must work through, challenges that Haverford faces, but in a way that was so positive and so thoughtful and deep that it was inspiring to me. And in the very best sense then, the search was a process, the search process was one that really helped me to understand what is so special about Haverford. We know that Haverford has a system and values in place that achieve remarkable results over the lifetime of our graduates. It's not obvious to me that the world knows that as well as they should. And I think I envision Haverford in the future being a place that has a powerful voice in shaping that conversation, because I know that those results that are achieved at Haverford and the system that is employed here to help engage students and transform them is one that most other schools would welcome the opportunity to learn from, to have an honor code of the sort that Haverford has, to have students engaged in the fabric of the place the way they are, is something every institution would aspire to if it's done as well as it is here. We have an obligation to tell that story and to communicate that more effectively. And I think the president has, in part, a responsibility to take that platform for the college and to tell that story, because it helps us as our own institution to be more visible, but also I think it helps the system of higher ed in our country to advance a vision that is so powerfully effective. Haverford is clearly a small place, and it will remain a small place for a good long time, but a leading institution like Haverford is a global institution. And so we have to think carefully about the kind of resources that we make available to bring students here from around the world, and the kind of opportunities that we provide to our students here to go around the world and to engage in global learning. And I think it would be a mistake for Haverford not to embrace that challenge and that opportunity as a leading institution with a global vision. How we do it specifically at Haverford is a project we'll undertake together. But we are in a global environment, and Haverford is a place that should have an important role in all of those discussions nationally and internationally.